Terraria's Expert mode presents the player with a plethora of exclusive items to obtain throughout the game. This ranges from some extremely useful accessories like the Hive Pack that significantly buffs offensive bees, the Shield of Cthulhu which gives you the ability to perform a dash, or the Brain of Confusion that's a chance to confuse nearby enemies. And while these are all loved by many, there is also a handful of some more forgotten Expert mode items that are very rarely talked about. Today, we're going to be looking at an Expert exclusive accessory that I think genuinely might be one of the best in the whole game, despite not being talked about nearly as much as the other options. Of course, I'm talking about the Spore Sac. Seriously though, the utility this item gives is unmatched and can be an absolute game changer. Before we look into it though, if you're enjoying binging my content, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe as it truly helps out the channel. Alright, let's see how you get this thing. As many of you know, the Spore Sac is Plantera's expert drop, meaning you'll want to head to your jungle after defeating the 3 mechanical bosses. While you're down there, be on the lookout for a Plantera bulb, which, if you're having difficulty finding, might be worth leaving your world AFK for a while. When you're ready though, smash that bulb open and make a dash for an open space or arena. During the fight, I'd highly recommend using the Death Sickle as your primary weapon, as it's extremely powerful and can be obtained post-mech. But if you're not playing melee, for you rangers, I'd go for the Onyx Blaster or Uzi with chlorophyte bullets. If you're a mage, I'd go for the Frost or Crystal Serpent staff. And finally, if you're summoner, the Durindal Whip with the Sanguine staff is your best bet. However you defeat Plantera, getting your hands on the Spore Sac is dead easy, as it has a 100% chance of dropping from her treasure bag. Okay, let's see what makes it so special. On first impressions, the Spore Sac's functionality is quite lame, and for most of you, won't be worth replacing an accessory slot for. However, on closer inspection, it can deal similar damage to that of your primary weapon, continuously spawning multiple floating spores around the player that act as deadly poisonous mines. The sheer quantity of spores produced can make its multi-target DPS rack up fast, dealing about 600 damage a second per target. Not only is this on par with some other ranged weapons at this stage of the game, but you won't even have to aim, as the spores automatically home onto targets and can pass through blocks to reach them, making pretty much anything in the vicinity vulnerable to your existence. Here you can see it wiping out all kinds of enemies and doing its best job at keeping many threats away from the player. And already, this single accessory can make for an extremely effective AFK farm and will continue to kill enemies indefinitely. And the best part is, we can make it even better, thanks to an amazing synergy with another set of items which can similarly be obtained from the jungle. Yes, chlorophyte armour. For those of you who don't know, the chlorophyte armour set bonus causes a leaf crystal to permanently appear above your head, automatically attacking enemies with a ranged projectile. Similar to the spores, this homes onto targets and will function while entirely AFK. As you can guess, this is a nasty combo, and it's pretty much the ultimate way to farm for anything in the game. And if you want to take it to the next level, you can always throw in some summons for extra protection. Also, if AFK farming isn't your thing, the spores still deal a surprising amount of damage in normal fights. Thanks to its significant buffs in the 1.4.4 update, the spores can quickly home onto large tanky targets like Golem, dealing extra damage passively, all for the expense of a single accessory slot. Not bad. Oh, another thing, I almost forgot. For the spores to spawn, there are a few things you need to keep in mind. For starters, they can only spawn near blocks or on background walls. In a completely open space, it won't work at all, meaning it's much better suited to tight indoor areas. Also, the spores cannot spawn from within liquids, meaning if you're fighting Duke underwater, you'll be missing a good chunk of its effectiveness. Other than this though, it's a 10 out of 10. I'd love to hear if you've regularly used the Spore Sac, and if not, if you're going to try it out more often after seeing this video. For me, it's one of those expert mode items that's always snuck under the radar, despite being one of the most useful of the bunch. This has been sockrteez, and I'll see you in the next one.